Now, this last little bit, it won't be as long or involved as the character creation process was individually. Now, of course, we made level 6 characters. This might be new, so a lot of things that I read out are things that in a D&D workshop I might not go over in detail, simply because most of us are already familiar with many of the aspects of character creation in D&D. And if you're not, you're welcome to ask questions. And I wanted to take our time with what we have here as well. Now, thank you, Belladonna. To shore things up, because unfortunately I was not able to broadcast on Wednesday. I was so blown out. I was not functional to do so. But what I normally do after we have a conversation on creating the characters individually, it's making a party character sheet or understanding what the party looks like as a character itself. Now, I don't have my D&D sheets up here, in part because I didn't download them onto the office computer here. Though I want to show you how easy it is to take these ideas and to start forming connections. For those of you who've been around in the workshops a while, you say, I know exactly what he's going to do next, and you would be correct. I'm fairly certain that you know where this is going. Though, if there are any newcomers, if there's anyone who's just found this stream and maybe role-playing in general, or you've only ever looked at your character sheet and you never worried about, well, what does the party look like? What does the, or as the GM, DM, or ST, what can I present that would challenge them as well as lean into their strengths? Let's go over that briefly. About a half hour, so I think we can have this wrapped up by midnight my time. You might be familiar with this sheet. Now below it, boop, 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 oh, what's this? That's right. Look at this look, if I'm not charging a premium on DM's Guild, it's because I'm generous with you all, okay? And I say that, you know, there's a lot of powerful tools, the third-party stuff, and you're welcome to support the creators. I want to show this as effectively pen and paper as I can on stream in a digital form. Now, what does this mean? It seems weird. Char, stir, dex, con, int, whiz, cha. Oh, I think I know that. Well, let's take a look at something you can do to get your characters lined up, either as an individual player with a character or as a GM looking to examine the party. We have our 4 characters that we've created. Let's just take a look at some of their mechanical benefits here. So we have a 14, we have a 16, we have a 10, we have an 8, we have a 16, and we have a 14. Oh, that was pretty easy. Maybe you see where things are going. Character 2, we didn't give them names yet. We have an 8. We have a 16. We have a 12. Oop. We have an 11. We have a 14. And we have an 18. Character 3. 8. 14. 14. 10. 14. 20. Ooh. Ooh-wee. And the final character, the one that we just made, we come over here. 16. 12. 14. 8. 10, 18. Now with this simple exercise, do you see what we just did? Do you see what's happening here? Maybe. Let's look at it this way. (16 and 16 is 32, 42, 46, 56, 58, 22, 32, 36, 40, 50, 16, 26, 36, 37, 30, 44, 54, and then we have 22, 32, 52, 62, 70. Well, it looks like the clear winner here, whoops, the clear winner is charisma. Then it looks like we have a pretty good showing here in dexterity. And then it looks like we have something pretty solid. In wisdom. Then we're coming over to not too shabby with Constitution. Then we have Strength. And we've lost all hope. We've lost all color. Intelligence is going to be our dump stat. And you see with some simple highlighting what we've done. As a party, this is what we're looking at. If we take a look at... so who is the winner of Strength? The winner of Strength. And if you want to choose other colors, you can. But let's go... we'll go... Magenta are the winners of each of the traits. (11), though arguably 11 and 10. Arguably 11 and 10 are the winners. This is starting to show you the mechanical spread of the abilities of your party members, and ultimately of the party itself. This can help you understand where you're going to be strong and where you're going to be weak, so you can try and shore up those weaknesses, or, as the one presenting the story, where you can challenge them as a group. They have exactly one brain cell between them, and currently it's with the bird. That's true. There's pet stats that we could put down here too. The pets might actually excel in something here too. But you know what? If we have young adventurers, no one ever said that the youth weren't brash or that they weren't dumb, and so bless them for it. But int is not going to be the strong point of this party. You want to challenge the group, make them have thinky thoughts. Now, a couple other ways that you can take a look at this. Let's go back to here, and let's look at our hit points. We have 40 hit points here. We have a defense of 16. Our initiative is 3. And then our saves, we are proficient in strength and wisdom. Okay. If we come over here to character 2, we have 39 hit points, a defense of 17, an initiative of 7, and our saves are going to be Dex and Charisma. Let's go to our third. Now, by the way, these are major stats. In the grand scheme of things, this is arbitrary. I'm not saying that you're going to get ultimate depth in any particular game by breaking things down this way, but if I can at least put numbers on the screen to show you what you can glean if you spend a little bit of time looking at this, it can work absolute miracles. Because maybe, if your characters aren't locked in, you talk to your GM and say, you know, it wouldn't violate the spirit of my character if instead of taking a stat bump, I took one that will give me an extra save. Because it's looking pretty clear. It's looking pretty clear that we don't have a diversity of saves here. Now, we'll jump out of the way of fireballs and exploding red barrels after they're shot, because that's what happens in video games. And we will prevent being aged by ghosts or other things that require a charisma save, you know, maybe being manipulated, because we're like, you know, strong independent youth who've been, you know, brought up in this organization to teach us to love ourselves, or we've loved ourselves from the get-go because we've been rejected by society. But man, if we are not ignorant and won't actually just be baffled by a lot of stuff. And you can also see here, all right, so our tanky characters, for sure, our tankiest by hit points and defenses is this character. High initiative. And so we can take a look. All right, well, this is where we can spread out some saves. This is how we can expect battles to go. If you want to hit them, you hit them hard with Constitution and Intelligence. Maybe Strength. You can make other charts down here and just line up the characters. Put some things that you think belong together. What if we did this? What if we included passives? Passive, if you want to play with more than passive perception. What if you have passive insight, perception, and investigation? Let's give it a try real quick. So we'll use passive insight, investigation. Whoop. And perception. And then we come down and we make 1, 2, 3, 4. Line them up. Why not? Who are you going to embarrass? And your game might play with other passives, or only the one, and so you want passive perception, but you want to measure something else. That's fine. But let's take a look. We have insight is going to be then a 13. Investigation is going to be 9. And perception is 16. We come down here to our second character. And we see that our insight is going to be 15. Passive investigation is 16. Passive perception is 15. Let's come over here to our third character. This is our second duelist. Passive insight of 18. Passive investigation of 10. Passive perception of 12. And then we come over here to our last character, who has a passive insight of 10, a passive investigation of 9, and a passive perception... Oh, we didn't even fill that in there. Passive perception of 13. We'll do that right now. There we go. And you can do the same thing. Where are they strong? They have a decent passive insight, so it can be difficult to lie to them or to try and deceive them. Investigation-wise, well, there is one with a pretty decent... Our second character, which is our first duelist, he is an investigator after all. Pretty decent. A lot of puzzles would probably fall to him, and so the group would be challenged if he is not in the party. Perception, they're all pretty observant. Not too bad. You know, a good spread there. Seems to be a shorn-up defense or a way to explore. So you can explore and maybe include varying degrees of exploration to if you want challenge there. Otherwise, they're going to do a lot of things just naturally there. They're inquisitive and perceptive in that regard. All right, what else? Aha! This is another excellent way. In fact, if we do this... Because we have... Alright, so let's use this as a landmark. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can... If you want to list everything out, you absolutely can. If you only want to put down proficiencies, you can do that as well. This is a lot of flexibility in how you want to look at the skills. If you want the raw numbers, fill it up with raw numbers. Now, what you can see that I did here, I did this by ability. Social science. So let's take a look at our first character. And let's just do this. Let's not worry about the numbers. Let's just mark if one of them is at least proficient in something. So we do have not athletics, but we do have acrobatics, arts and crafts, deception, perception. We are actually expert. We have expertise. Performance, security, sleight of hand, and stealth. And vehicles. All right. Now we come over. Character number 2. Deception. Insight. Investigation. Expertise. Perception. Performance. Persuasion. Security. And survival. All right, character number 3. Character number 3 has insight, intimidation, performance persuasion, and social sciences. And lastly, character number 4, we do have athletics. We have arts and crafts as an expertise. We have endurance and intimidation. Perception, performance. Stealth and survival. I'm looking at character 3. Did I put something in the wrong place? Because we have... She is also good in intimidation. But not... Oh, I put it in deception. Not deception. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Now, what you can see with us doing this, you can take a look at the spread of the skills in the party. And if you're lacking something, how can you address it? So let's take a look. Computers, we are... Our group is... we're no good. We're no good with computers. Mechanics. Medicine. I think actually we have a character... Did we take that? We might have a skill that lets us swap something around. So medicine might not be as bad. I forget if we took that on the character. But that's why we do these exercises. Now, we do Athletics, there is someone at least. There is someone at least who can do athletics, acrobatics, sleight of hand, vehicles, social sciences, okay. Now, we're getting a little bit more breathing room. We're getting a... Oh, actually, endurance was just 1. Endurance is yellow. Because we have 2 people. Uh-oh. Thank you very much, Night Diver. Yeah, evening to you. Howdy. Whoops. All right, now, you might go, well, you only have 1 person who's good at investigation. If you're just counting quantity, then that would be yellow. And I suppose that would be correct. And, oh, also, good morning to you, Clicker. I didn't see you come in here. So this is up to you as an individual, as a GM, DMST, or as the party. Would you count investigation as yellow because only 1 person can investigate? Would you count it as green because you can investigate better with just the 1 person? You know, however you want to do it, you know, make it stand out. Or what you can do, something that I've done before, we've come over here and we've made it yellow. But we can, you know, we can bold. We can embolden something to know that only 1 person can, but it's a really good showing. Or if you want, you could just highlight this to be green or whatever. But now if you look, oh, this is good because we have backup over here. Actually, this needs to be yellow. Yellow. Bold. Bold. This will be bold. There we go. We have these last 2. I'm going to make this a beautiful cyan color. Sky's the limit. Everyone on the team can perform. In fact, to the point, do we have a band? In some way, a band of artists, a band of thieves, a band of artist thieves, or a band of thieving artists. So we're pretty perceptive, and we're really good at performance. If we make distinctions like this, then it's easy to take a look at where you can challenge the party and where the party can thrive. However you visualize it, just visualize it. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. A and C should be green. What was the other one? An insight? Oh, yep, that was my fault. You know, green is a go. Yellow is caution because you can do it, but it relies on one person. If character 1 disappears or is kidnapped in the story's events, the team doesn't have a backup. Caution, caution. Only one person can do this. Green is solid. If someone is down, you have a backup. Blue, you have more people. If you want to color it otherwise or format it otherwise, go ahead and do that. But you can see here, if it comes to fixing machines, using computers, right over our party's heads. And this can come down into then the final concept that I will illustrate for you all. That is the S.W.O.T report. Now, you usually find this in business. What is a S.W.O.T report? Now, while it is a business concept, you can do that with this with party making. That stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strengths and weaknesses are things that are internal to the party. These are things that they can directly help or directly confront. A strength of the party would be social skills. A weakness of the party, if you want to go like back and forth, you want to stick to a category, you want to have a plus and a minus, it doesn't have to be symmetrical, though you might find a lot of symmetry. We'll just put int skills broadly. We do have a little bit investigation, security, social sciences, but broadly. Or if you want to say between computers and mechanics, instead of int skills, machines, electronics, even something like urban navigation, because we have two wild children. Now the one we didn't take Streetwise with our car thief here. But he would just go in. I mean, that doesn't mean that you have to necessarily know you're going to talk with people. You can just pick a car and take it. But you can see that these are internal, and we can go all the way up. We can go a strength, actually a weakness of the party is strength, only beaten by intelligence. A strength would be charisma. You can look at, let's say that we just had some sickly characters, or characters with not a lot of hit points, or everyone's defenses were low. These are things internal to the party. List out your strengths and weaknesses. Confront them. Realize that they're there so you can work around them or through them or improve them. What are you going to take on your next level up? What are you going to do to shore up a weakness? You don't know unless you understand what it is. Now, external to a business, an entity, a party, are opportunities and threats. And I usually use a lemonade stand as an example. An opportunity for a lemonade stand is summertime. Lemonade stand can't do anything about the weather, about the seasons changing, because you can have a lemonade stand in the middle of a northern Ohio winter. Nothing would stop you from doing that. It's not a strength or a weakness, but the opportunity is a hot day, good weather for lemonade. That's the opportunity to sell lemonade, but it's beyond your control. It's just something that when it happens, you can excel at doing. A threat could also be the weather, or more specifically, the rain or the cold. Or a threat would be the neighborhood bully comes up to the couple kids in the neighborhood with a lemonade stand, shoves them around, and says, "Give me your cup full of quarters for lemonades, for the lemonade you sold." That is a threat. That bully is not a part of the organization, and it's something that you hope it doesn't happen, but you can't help it happening when it does, in a sense, if you get what I'm saying. So take a look at that. What would be an opportunity for the party? Well, an opportunity, this could be not just mechanical, this could be conceptual. A coming-of-age story where these kids learn about becoming responsible adults, or just about adulthood in general, or overcoming being abandoned or jaded or formed by negative experiences. We could very much list a bunch of mechanical stuff here, so I want you to think outside that box also. An opportunity would be an awesome and compelling coming-of-age story. A threat to this party? You know what a threat would be? Killing their pets. One of them actively hunts alongside a pet, and the other has a pet that is a support pet, but maybe not a combat pet. You don't even have to hurt the characters. Destroy their pets, and you have threatened the party. Whatever, emotionally, morally, mechanically. Hi, Famine. That is a threat to the party. If you want to threaten the party, puzzles. Yep, we're talking about what would threaten the party of characters that we've made, Famine. Two of them have pets as companions. One is a functional pet in combat, the other is a sort of a utility pet. And so if you want to threaten the party, destroy their pets. As the GM, threaten the pets. Put the pets in peril. Irina has their brain cell, you can't. Now, would one facilitate the other? Would losing their pets facilitate a coming-of-age story? Do we have a yin-yang sort of a concept of balance? Not that you ever need balance in a story like this, but what are some other threats? What are some other opportunities? Sit down, think about this. This isn't tough. Just because I said that a SWOT report is a business report, a financial report, it doesn't mean it's beyond your reach. I don't know what grade level any of you are in. Some of you might be in high school. Some of you might be in college. Some of you might be in college but not studying business or ever want to be in business. But if you learn about this, it's not a terribly hard concept. And you might be pressed to ever find something like this in a role-playing book. I've not seen it in the Dungeon Master's Guide. I've not seen it in the Everyday Heroes. A lot of these books have the same blah, blah, blah about role-playing and about all this other stuff. Have any of them ever talked about exercises like this? Maybe some have. I'm not aware of them. Though, oh, you know what? One has. Vampire the Masquerade. It's not a mechanical look at the party. But Vampire the Masquerade encourages the party or the players to get together and make a relationship map of their characters. So their connections. How are they connected? And that's another way that you can go about connecting your party members. You can make lists like this, or you can just take a piece of paper and make all the circles and the lines that would connect it. It looks like a conspiracy theory board. And you can say, all right, so some things that connect us all. We all appear to be young. You know, we're the young, like JRPG, anime, manga protagonist character. We're all in our teens. So we're scrappy adventurers. You know, we start out as the sons of farmers, and then we overthrow God and save the world. You know, whatever arc that this takes. We're all young characters. That can be something that connects us. But you also might find that, yeah, but mechanically we have two duelists. That itself is not a connection. It's the same word repeated twice. You might read many books with the word the, and what is connecting the is vastly different, other than it just shares that particle word, right? Just seeing duelist is not itself an intrinsic connection that will form a bond between the characters. However, what might is you have, not even just being a charming character either. So here we have someone who, by background, is an immigrant. Well, we have someone who has learned to subsist themselves, very independent. That could share a relationship despite being, by name, a different background. The immigrant and the person who's been personally subsistent might find a connection. Or the orphan, so maybe the immigrant hasn't, but the orphan and the person with subsistence does. These two are very much connected, despite one being an idol by mechanical name and the other being a duelist by mechanical name. The fact that they're a charming archetype or their class doesn't even matter. It's who they are that can connect them or drive a wedge between them for that lovely, juicy drama. We come back over to our hunter. Our hunter is an art lover, but he's into crime. Now, he might be a wise archetype, but that doesn't mean that he can't find a connection with someone else. All the other three are charming. But could this go into something else? Take a look at the personality traits. We have two of the people who have vehicles. That is a connection. Our hunter and our idol here, our icon. Our icon has a four-wheeler. Both of them are at least, kind of into vehicles. They're decent with vehicles, or they have enough interest to own them or want to operate them. So that is something these two can talk about that maybe the others can't. And meanwhile, you have this duelist here who has the cabin in the woods. And that could be a connection to the car owners, or that's actually something that is a point of contention. Because she understands home ownership, and the other people have no idea what it means to upkeep a home, or to keep something like that going. And so this is something that it might be connection in that, they use it as a base, but it might actually be alienating for this character. And so we look at the emotional connections. We found these were completely random rolls. That's why we say it writes itself in our workshop. Attachment and organization for our second character. Fourth character, attachment, organization. Is this the same organization? It might be, and if so, we have a bonding moment. Are they different organizations and we're at odds? There we go, juicy drama. 3 of our characters on a list of 16 roles, how they view themselves in society, these 3 view themselves as artists. But like many artists, I guarantee you that they see their art in different ways and will probably tell what each other does isn't real art. Stealing cars isn't an art. Making scary Blair Witch symbols to hide around the woods isn't art. One says to the other and the other says to another. And yet they all believe that they are artists in the world. This is something to play into, something to cultivate and nurture, or something to challenge. Because how many artists out there have been challenged and humbled by their own art, let alone the art of others, that they might hold in peerage? And so now we're not even talking about the mechanics, or we list out, oh, all the languages that they can speak, or the tools that they can use, or the weapons they have, because you can do that. But there's a lot more meaningful connections, especially when it comes to world building, when it comes to making a story and introducing compelling NPCs or enemies or rivals or who knows what else. But by doing a little bit of research, comparisons of your character sheets, all of this information comes to light. And you don't need an accounting degree. You don't need any special... look, this is open office. We whipped this up in a couple minutes in open office. You could be a middle schooler and do all this stuff. Maybe some of you out there watching are in middle school. So believe in yourself. Look at the data. What does it tell you? It's telling you not only a story of what's happened and currently going on, this is writing potential. You want to write a story? Create the characters this way, and even though you're the author, you control all of them. You have personalities, conflict, and bonding all written out and formatted in a way that makes sense to your eyes and your brain. This will springboard your writing career, your narrative capabilities. And all you did is take about a half hour. I think we're at 45 minutes now, technically. About 45 minutes. And a lot of that was just me talking to you in chat or double explaining something because I'm unable to be succinct. That is a weakness I have, as that is an internal thing to me. And look how flexible it is. And I'm not here selling you a bunch of extra stuff. I appreciate your time, your attention. For all of you who follow, who participate in chat, this is the stuff I love teaching and empowering you with. Because not only can you apply this in a lot of other areas of life, this can help your gaming group, something that you do on a regular basis with people in person or remotely, and this was not complex accounting or anything else. And I really do hope that a workshop like this inspires you and will show you or tell you things or suggest things anyway. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I don't want to tell you what to think. I just want to challenge you just to think. Put some thought into it. And it's not that difficult. It's not that hard to do. And if I can lead by example and show possibilities, or you say, you know what, I like this, but I do programming in spreadsheets. I can make something more efficient or prettier or works with people who have color blindness, because the colors I chose, there are people with color blindness that are going to look at what I did with the color bars and go, I trust you, but there's that. Because, look, we are a breadth of humanity, and we all have our internal strengths and weaknesses and our external opportunities and threats. So the more that you learn about these processes, the greater you can adapt them or come up with your own way forward. Look at the big recent hacking thing that just happened, with all these companies relying on one vendor who you would think would have the expertise not to push out a forced update that would brick computers in airports and hospitals. You would think that. You would like to... My camera's out of focus. You'd like to be able to trust the professionals, the people who say, oh, hire me or vote for me or do anything else. Trust me, I'm the professional. And as much as we want to, and in many ways we do very often, if there's an come on, there's nothing else for you to show. I would love to trust Logitech, who sells expensive webcams and is a multi-billion-dollar international company, to make webcams that don't have autofocus issues. And yet I'm consistently let down by them. And so I need to, I got to go out of my way and do it. I got to learn tricks how to overcome it, or look into options to replace Logitech or something. for the grief that they give me or the vulnerabilities that are inherent in that. Or I invent my own webcam and I live off the grid while broadcasting directly onto it. I don't know. You can come up with whatever fun examples or, just go from there. Don't blame Logitech because your face shifts in and out of focus. How dare you know that I'm a shapeshifter, GMV? Just for that, you're not waking up tomorrow. Yay! You know the secret, and the secret's out. So, yeah, I don't have to go to work. Wait a minute, but you're self-employed. That's actually quite the tragedy. Yes. Why are we having fun? No fun allowed. This is role-playing games. We have to be super serious, and we have to conform to the ideals and ideas that other people tell us to, especially multi-million and multi-billion dollar corporations. You got it? I never thought I'd have to have this conversation with you. Come on, chat.